Okay, set up on a flower pot, hopefully won't fall over. Here we go. So, oh, more eggs. As I said when I was doing the other side, we've got quite a few chickens and we eat quite a few eggs. And Sheena, my wife, bakes lots of cakes, etc, etc. But just once you put a spade through it like that, it chops up. Look, fantastic. All the organic matter's broken down, the food waste broken down, and you're left with a nice, even, reasonably moist compost. So I'll keep chopping this out. I haven't actually, sometimes if you put some really woody material into the Aerobin, it will come out partly composted. So what we do is just move it with a fork to one side and pop it back in again. But as yet, everything is really nicely rotted down. There's a little bit of, what's that, a little bit of, it's probably a herbaceous root that's a bit tougher, but basically it's cooked. I doubt it will grow again because it's got so hot in the Aerobin, it's killed it, but that might need to just go through again for a second time. But this compost is just absolutely wonderful. Oh, look at it, buckets and buckets and buckets. I think if everybody had an Aerobin composter, there would be no need for any mechanical waste by councils of green waste. But I would say that, wouldn't I? But hopefully after seeing this video, you'll agree too. Somebody has popped a wrapper in of some sort of plastic. Obviously plastic won't rot, so the cleanliness of the product you put in, if you put in any plastic product, look, there's a bit more. Obviously sloppy selection of product to go into the Aerobin. There we are. So that's about it. Look, look. Sheena's obviously been doing some weeding in the garden and she's got to take a brick out. So obviously they don't rot. Now, if the camera was the other side of the Aerobin now, you would see, I can see daylight through the other side of the Aerobin, and a plant label. Obviously got its way in there. Look, absolutely wonderful. Now what's happened here is I've taken all the compost out the bottom. The compost is stuck in the top, but once I put the sides back on the Aerobin, I hope you can see me. Once I put the sides back on the Aerobin, well, just fork through the compost in the top and it'll all fall to the bottom. When you do that, it actually lets more oxygen in, so your compost will get absolutely red hot and cook really quickly. I'll just show you the Aerobin. That's one side and there's the other side with Minnie sniffing the eggs and all the food waste that was in the compost. And then look, there's a shot right through the Aerobin. I think you can see through the daylight through to the other side, and you can see all this compost just hanging in the top there. I will take some more of that out in a minute until I get up as high as where the compost hasn't rotted, and then I'll put the doors back on the Aerobin there on that side and the other side, and then I'll just lightly fork the compost at the top to so it comes down and we can fill the Aerobin up again. But I think if you were to leave it, it would probably fall down anyway over time as it rots down, but it just gives you more capacity in the top. Whoa, that's the top of the Aerobin. Bread, look at that wastage, isn't that terrible? Eggshells again, as I said, avocado, pears, etc. Herbaceous cuttings. Oh, there's a slug. I bet he won't survive in there too long when the sun comes out. But yeah, lovely smelly mess in there. Good, so that's Aerobin 400, and they do a smaller one if you've got a smaller space, an Aerobin 200. So I hope you see the efficiency. Look at all that compost. If I stand back a bit more, you'll see both sides. And how much we've got, probably 2-3 barrel loads of compost after 5 or 6 months of composting, and that's all our food waste out the kitchen. We don't sell any to landfill or anything like that.